I'm trying to do an intro, but my daughter's behind the camera looking at me. Y'all, you know you got that one child. That's her.
Please don't put me on your camera.
That one.
That keep you.
Keep me in prayer. Pray for me as I pray for you. Anyways, y'all, welcome to the Barber Experience, y'all. It's Monday. I don't know what day, but Monday. And I have a client that's coming in. This is a regular haircut. A lot of people think like, do y'all just do regular services? Actually, no. Everything is an experience. So you're still gonna come in here and relax. Even on a what we call a regular haircut. You're still gonna come in here and relax. You every haircut will get a shampoo and a condition, scalp massage, and just a nice little 5-minute rewind. Wait, what you say? Okay, some people just be in the morning. Anyways, good morning. Good morning. Have a blessed day. But so this first client's coming in and he's going to get a shampoo condition, scalp massage, relaxing, and then this amazing client is just not. I don't even like to call him a client. He's actually a really, really like for real serious friend. I've been in business for the Barber Experience. Been in business for 10 years. He's been my client for 12. How's that? Kelly. So yeah. Yeah. You're on live. So the support from him is unmatched. A real true friend. A friend indeed. What else? And it's a very light day. Usually all my days are light, y'all. Me as a barber, I have learned how to work extremely smarter and not harder. Like I'm at the point where I am like really, I have really created $1,000 experience, and Lord, please bless me to have 2, 3 of them a day, and then let me go home. That's the type of barber I want to be. I want to be the specialty barber that do $1,000 service and go home and enjoy my life. All this behind the chair for 1,800 hours just to come up with $1,000 is not for me. But I do want. I just wrote on my Facebook page to my friends and my family. I want to making $1,000 a day normal. So making $1,000 an hour is way more than normal. So yeah, y'all, it's just time for us to actually grow up. Hi. Hello, thank you so much. Thank you so much for just being respectful and saying hello. Hello, y'all. I am so sorry for not saying hello. Thank you for saying hello. Good morning, y'all. We're about to get started. I kind of just want to jump on here and kind of introduce myself. Tasha, the Master Barber, owner of the Barber Experience. Thank you so much for the emojis, y'all. If y'all can tap and like, please. Y'all see me kind of interacting with y'all before my client walks in, because when my client walk in, it's a very, 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 very relaxing service. So I can't do no talking. So it's kind of like you just got to come in here, come into the room and kind of just watch how we serve our clients. So we don't do a lot of talking, but yeah, so right now you just see us getting ready to perform. Designing, we need, let me put some water over here, y'all. Yes, whoever asked, do I cut men's hair? I only cut men's hair. Only. We're a barber shop. It's called the Barber Experience. Absolutely. Please go check out our videos. Go see what we do with men. Women wish they can get this experience. Women always say, men always say, oh, I see where women go get the experience. Women don't get the experience here. They don't even experience this in the hair salon. Most time in the hair salon, it's a lot of drama. In here, no drama. No drama. Total relaxation. Total relaxation. So absolutely we do men. We're located in Dallas, Texas, but it's called Little Elm. When I say Little Elm, a lot of people don't know where that is, so I always say Frisco. Because we're like 5 minutes away from Frisco, Texas. By what? By Universal Kids, the new Disney that just opened. We're right by that. Please come and see us. Let us serve you. Not only do you get a haircut from us, she does the manicures and pedicures. So while you getting your haircut, get your feet done too. And your hair done. And your hands done.
Washington, D.C. happening.
Washington. Believe it or not, you wouldn't believe how many people that flew in here from Washington to come and get this experience. So serious, y'all. People fly in from around the world to come in here. I'm so serious. Do y'all want to see our map? I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map. I'm the map. Let's go show you the map.
This girl start singing the map.
Y'all, this is the map. So when you come into the barber experience, we'll have you pin the map for where you're from. So Washington, y'all be showing up. I'm telling you, it's worth it. It is worth it. Trust me. We do not disappoint. We do not disappoint at all. People fly in from around the world to come and get this amazing experience. Because nobody is doing this, and especially for men. They ain't even doing it for women, to be honest with you. Because I be trying to find this experience for me. But I do have a team that is completely ready to cater to the women. One of them name is Danielle. She is amazing all natural hairstylist, braids, locks, just all natural hair. She loves facials, manicures. We're really trying to find a nail tech. But yeah, we are trying to create some women something. Y'all please like, cause it'll just help us. Even I'm not the person that asks for nothing but a like. Like thumbs me up. Thumbs me up.
Mama, what is she looking at?
I really Myron Golden don't come on until 9. What time is it? Myron Golden come on at 9. I really want to listen to the latest Myron Golden. He come on at 9. But I don't know if I want to listen to this book I'm listening to. Yeah, let's listen to this book I'm listening to. Hold on, y'all. So y'all, one thing that my latest thing that I'm about to start doing this week, today, y'all gonna be the first one to experience. Work on the be listening to books while you getting your haircut. But no, let me tell you the amazing part about that is, you know how you just be like, okay, I need to start listening to books, I need to start reading more, I need to figure out how to educate myself more. But I'm always so busy. But you know you're gonna spend about an hour in the barbershop or 30 minutes, 40 minutes in the barbershop. So I've been finding books, audio books that's like 30 minutes or 40 minutes long. Now you can check that book off your list and say, I read that book. So the book that we're reading, the book that we're going to be listening to today is called The Mind is Everything. What you think, you become. That's the secret sauce of the Barber experience. Everybody think it's all rah, 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 rah. It's the mind. It's the mind that we try to go through. We try to really come towards your mind. A lot of people will come in here. It'll be certain businesses interrupt your mind. Certain businesses that will feed your mindset. A lot of people ain't into this. I know for a fact that I'm only for the 1%. I know for a fact I'm not for everybody. So this ain't gonna be a page where you come in and you see like 300-400 people on here, because when you're dealing with the mind, people like, I want to keep my mind. And then you got the 1%ers that's like, what you talking about, girl? You're my client. You're my type. You are my type of client. So them are the kind of clients that the Barber experience. Because don't forget to put it on in my room that the Barber experience attract. And I know I'm not for everybody. People come in here all the time asking me to change. No, you should change, not me. Change your mindset. A woman change your mindset. The live chat just don't be popping up. So if anybody's saying anything, thank you. Please like and subscribe. See, my 1%ers right there. The team, the people that want to build people are my type of people. You know, let's build each other. Like, come on. Iron sharpens iron. Come on, come on. I love it. You don't understand it. Like, tears my heart. Like, almost make me want to cry. Because that's how I love people that love to support the people. Like and subscribe, y'all. Please like and subscribe. Like, let's blow something that's not popular. Let's blow it up. Let's blow each other up. I got you, you got me. So we're waiting on this client. They should be pulling up. I'm in the front area. We're in the when you first walk in. This is how it looks when you first walk in. We really got the design of kings. Because as soon as you walk in, we want a man to realize that we only speak to the king in there. Huh?
And I don't know, she can come on me. I don't know why you not able to get it.
Let me see.
I don't know where I can get it since you go. But them events where they do free haircuts, they do the kids
That's
that
my friend. You know.
the kids that can't, you know.
Every day I get on there, she like,
Yeah.
for real. But she way in the East Coast. All them are she called she a fast right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we should be at the event. They got one in Mesquite coming up. They invited me to go, but it should be like, it be back to school. It be busy. I just need to get we need to get our own kids that we can just one of them is in the trunk. We need to go ahead and bring him in, give him a service. We can start our own family. And then, what do you mean? I know, but I'm saying, we do something in here, it's hard, but we need to bring the event here and actually give them a service. I told you they got a community center in Mesquite. They invited me to go. But I need my whole team.
Imagine you and my brother. That's how I would out. That'd be it.
Karima already doing it at her job. Karima, every Monday, they got open their shop for all free haircuts. Karima's doing all free haircuts for people with a disability. Me, I want to get back to autistic kids. I want to do a little bit where we, at once a month, we give it back to autistic kids. But, they let you know. My client let me record them every time. You know the one I was with? He will. Not what guy. Yeah. He always record. I got plenty of videos on him. Thousands. If you don't ever be in there with him, he tell you to record. He be telling his dad, record. You don't ever hear him say that? He be like, record. Yes, Makai always do that. And his parents let us record. You know, he got his own channel, too. Yeah, he got his own channel.
I'm still kind of mad that Serena not going to school.
What school?
The new one.
Ow. I thought you knew that.
I did.
Let me see more. I told you as soon as my client said you
I was going to a elementary school, no playground. I never even heard of this before. We elementary school, no, ain't got no playground.
They got something in there. And it's probably something we can do.
But I mean, when she go to that legacy walk there, they go playground.
I'm ready.
I think right there should be good.
Yep.
Outside. They change jobs, they change cities, they change relationships, they change routines, goals, appearances, even identities. And yet, deep down, something stays the same. The same doubts return, the same fears resurface, the same patterns repeat. Not because life is against them, but because the mind they carry into every situation never truly changed. The mind is everything. Not as a motivational slogan, not as a positive quote to post and forget, but as a quiet, uncomfortable truth about how life actually works. What you think consistently and repeatedly becomes the lens through which you see the world. That lens shapes every decision you make, every action you take, and every result you experience. You do not react to reality itself. You react to the meaning your mind assigns to it. Two people can face the same obstacle. One grows stronger, the other collapses. The difference is not intelligence, it is not luck, it is not talent, it is the way the mind interprets what is happening in the moment. Most people never question this. They assume their thoughts are facts. They assume the inner voice is telling the truth. They assume emotional reactions are unavoidable. But what if they are not? What if your thoughts are not who you are, but something you have been practicing for years without realizing it? Because that is what thinking really is, a habit. A mental routine repeated so often it feels natural. If you have ever felt stuck, overwhelmed, unmotivated, or disappointed in yourself, this is not proof that you are broken. It is proof that your mind has been trained in a certain direction, and anything that is trained can be retrained. This audiobook is not here to hype you up. It will not promise overnight transformation. It will not tell you to think positive and hope for the best. Instead, it invites you to slow down, to observe how your mind actually works when no one is watching, to notice the patterns quietly shaping your days, to recognize how small, repeated thoughts build an entire life. Because your life is not the result of one big decision. It is the result of thousands of tiny mental choices made every single day. What you dwell on, what you tolerate, what you replay, what you tell yourself when things do not go your way. Over time, these thoughts become beliefs. Beliefs become behaviors. Behaviors become destiny, whether you are aware of it or not. Over the next hour, you will not be asked to become someone new. You will be asked to become more conscious, more deliberate, more responsible for the inner world creating the outer one. This is not about controlling every thought. It is about choosing which thoughts deserve your energy. Because the moment you understand this, something shifts. You stop feeling like life is happening to you. You begin to realize your mind has been shaping it all along. The mind is everything, and what you think, you become. This journey is an invitation to look inward with honesty, patience, and courage. Stay present. Listen closely. Let the ideas meet your own life. What you discover here is not theory, but a mirror and a path forward, step by step toward clarity, strength, and lasting inner freedom. Today, Chapter 1. Your thoughts are not neutral. Most people believe their thoughts are harmless. They assume thinking is something that simply happens in the background. Like noise you learn to live with, a passing doubt feels small. A quiet complaint seems insignificant. A familiar excuse feels reasonable. But the truth is far more serious. Every thought you allow to stray has direction. It is either pulling you forward or quietly dragging you backward. There is no such thing as a neutral thought. Every thought carries weight. Every thought leaves a trace. When you think I can't, something inside you tightens. When you think I'll try later, momentum dissolves. When you think this always happens to me, your mind begins searching for evidence to prove it right. Thoughts do not sit still. They move. They shape perception. They influence action long before you notice the change. Most people live as if their thoughts are private and harmless. But your mind is the command center of your life. What runs through it determines how you speak, how you move, how you decide, and how you respond under pressure. Long before results appear in the outer world, they have already formed in the inner one. Think of your mind as a voting system. Every repeated thought casts a vote for the person you are becoming. One vote may not seem important, but thousands of votes over time create a clear outcome. Confidence is not a single decision. It is a pattern of thoughts repeated until they feel natural. The same is true for fear, hesitation, discipline, and self-doubt. You do not wake up one day and suddenly lack direction. You arrive there gradually, through thoughts you allowed yesterday, last week, last year. You tolerated them because they felt familiar. You believed them because they sounded like you. And over time, they built a version of reality that feels fixed, even when it is not. This is where awareness begins. The moment you realize your thoughts are not neutral, you regain responsibility. Responsibility is not blame, it is power. It means you are no longer a passive observer of your inner world. You become an active participant. You start to notice how a single thought can change the tone of your entire day. Notice what happens when your mind leans negative. Energy drops. Posture shifts. Effort feels heavier. Now notice what happens when your thinking becomes deliberate. Not fake optimism, but grounded clarity. The body responds differently. focus sharpens. Action becomes simpler. Nothing external changed, yet everything feels different. This is not coincidence. It is cause and effect. Most people wait for motivation to arrive before they act. But motivation is the result of thinking, not the starting point. When your thoughts weaken you, motivation disappears. When your thoughts support you, action follows naturally. This is why discipline always begins in the mind. Pay attention to the language you use internally. Words like always, never, impossible, too late. These words sound small, but they close doors quietly. They reduce options. They narrow your world. Over time, they teach you to expect less from yourself. Your thoughts teach your nervous system how to respond to life. Repeated stress thoughts create constant tension. Repeated defeatist thoughts create hesitation. Repeated focused thoughts create stability. You are training yourself whether you intend to or not. This chapter is not asking you to control every thought. That would be impossible. It is asking you to recognize their direction. Ask yourself, does this thought strengthen me or weaken me? Does it expand my choices or shrink them? Does it move me closer to action or deeper into delay? Once you ask better questions, your thinking begins to shift. You start to realize that your thoughts are not you. They are habits you have practiced. And habits can change. The moment you stop treating thoughts as facts, they lose their authority. You no longer obey every inner command automatically. You pause, you choose, you redirect. This is the foundation of mental strength. Your life will never rise above the level of thinking you tolerate daily. But it can rise the moment you become conscious of it. Every thought matters. Every pattern counts. And from this point forward, awareness is your advantage. Your thoughts are not neutral. They are shaping you right now. Chapter 2. The invisible scripts running your life. Most people move through life believing they're making independent choices every day. They decide how to react, what to pursue, and when to stop. Yet beneath these choices, something quieter is operating. Invisible mental scripts guiding behavior without conscious awareness. These scripts feel natural, automatic, and familiar, which is why they are so powerful. They are written early, often before you had the language to question them. You absorbed them from family dynamics, school expectations, social rules, and repeated experiences. You learned what earned approval, what triggered criticism, and what kept you safe. You learned when to speak, when to stay quiet, and what parts of yourself were acceptable. Over time, these lessons hardened into assumptions. You did not choose them consciously. They became default settings, quietly shaping how much effort you give, how much risk you take, and how deeply you allow yourself to desire. Because these scripts operate beneath awareness, they often appear as personality. You might say, this is just how I am. But what you are really describing is repetition. Familiar patterns reinforced so often they feel permanent. A script might whisper, do not stand out. Another might insist you must prove yourself constantly. Another might warn that failure means rejection. These messages rarely appear as full sentences. They show up as hesitation, tension, or a subtle tightening in the body. Because the mind prefers familiarity over truth, even painful patterns feel safer than uncertainty. This is why you can want change and still resist it. Part of you reaches forward, while another part clings to an old script designed for survival, not fulfillment. Look closely at your life, and you will notice repetition. Similar conflicts, different faces, familiar emotional reactions, new circumstances, invisible ceilings you keep hitting. These are not coincidences. They are signals that a script is still running. Your mind learned these patterns when they once made sense. Perhaps they protected you from embarrassment, disappointment, or rejection. At one time, they served a purpose. But protection can turn into limitation when it goes unquestioned. Awareness is the beginning of freedom. When you notice a reaction before you justify it, something shifts. You create space between impulse and action. In that space, choice becomes possible. This chapter is not asking you to judge your past or criticize yourself for what you learned. It is inviting you to observe your inner responses with curiosity. Notice when your emotions feel bigger than the moment. Notice when resistance appears without a clear reason. When a familiar voice says, "Do not try," or "This is risky," pause. Ask where that voice came from. You do not need to analyze endlessly. You only need to recognize that it is learned, not absolute truth. The moment you see a script as a script, it loosens its grip. You no longer confuse conditioning with identity. You gain the ability to respond instead of react. You begin to rewrite the pattern. This is how change actually begins, not with force or motivation, but with awareness. Each time you notice a script running and choose differently, you weaken its hold. You are not here to erase your past. You're here to stop letting it decide your future. Every script can be rewritten, but only by the one who notices it running. As you move forward through this audiobook, carry this understanding gently. There is nothing wrong with you. You adapted, you learned, you survived. Now you are learning to choose. And that choice begins the moment you become aware of the invisible scripts shaping your life today. These scripts lose power, not through resistance, but through understanding. Each time you pause instead of obeying automatically, you remind yourself that the present is not the past. You are no longer a child reacting from memory. You are an adult capable of choice, direction, and growth. With patience and practice, new patterns begin to form. They may feel unfamiliar at first, because freedom often does. But unfamiliarity is not danger. It is simply new territory waiting to be explored. As this awareness deepens, you will start noticing how often you interrupt yourself before you even begin. How often you assume outcomes before they happen. These moments are invitations, not failure. Each time you recognize a script and choose presence over habit, you take back a small piece of yourself. This is not dramatic. It is subtle and real. Over time, these small moments accumulate. They create a new inner landscape, one where choice becomes normal and old scripts slowly fade. You are not broken. You are waking up. And that is where everything begins. Chapter 3. Why positive thinking is not enough. For a long time, people have been taught that positive thinking is the solution to their problems. Think positive, they are told, and everything will begin to improve. Replace negative thoughts with uplifting ones. Repeat affirmations. Visualize success. Smile through difficulty. This advice sounds hopeful, and for a moment it can feel comforting. It offers relief. It gives the illusion of control. But for many people, it quietly stops working when life applies real pressure. You can feel optimistic in the morning and overwhelmed by the afternoon. You can believe in yourself during calm moments and lose that belief the moment stress appears. This is not personal failure. It is a limitation of the method. Positivity without structure cannot survive adversity. The mind does not change because a thought sounds encouraging. It changes through repetition, evidence, and discipline. Most people do not suffer because they think negatively. They suffer because their thinking lacks consistency. One moment they feel capable, the next moment they doubt everything. Their inner world swings between hope and fear, motivation and avoidance. Without stability, the mind cannot build strength. Mental strength is not the absence of negative thoughts. It is the presence of control. A disciplined mind does not ask, "How do I feel right now?" It asks,
You feel like
"What
that's
thought will help me
No, I
act
was talking
responsibly
before
in
it.
this moment?" That question marks the difference between comfort and growth. Positive thinking tries to eliminate discomfort. Disciplined thinking accepts discomfort and works through it. One seeks emotional relief, the other seeks clarity. This is why relying only on positivity often leads to exhaustion. You are constantly trying to feel better instead of becoming stronger. When people who depend on positivity face obstacles, they often feel discouraged. They did everything right. They stayed optimistic. Yet reality did not cooperate. What they lacked was not relief, but structure. Discipline provides structure for the mind. It is the ability to guide your thinking even when emotions resist. It allows you to choose clarity over impulse. Discipline does not deny fear. It places fear in proportion. It does not silence doubt. It prevents doubt from making decisions for you. Strong thinkers understand that thoughts are tools, not commands. When a negative thought appears, they do not panic. They do not suppress it or replace it with forced optimism. They examine it. They decide whether it deserves attention. This creates internal stability. Optimism hopes circumstances will improve. Discipline prepares you to act regardless of circumstances. Most people wait to feel confident before they take action. Disciplined thinkers understand that confidence is the result of action, not the prerequisite. They move first, even when uncertainty is present. Over time, this trains the mind to trust itself. The mind learns through experience. When you act despite fear, you teach your nervous system that discomfort is survivable. When you hesitate and retreat, you teach it that avoidance is safety. Eventually, the mind adapts to whichever lesson you repeat most often. Positive thinking without action provides no evidence. Disciplined action creates proof. This chapter is not asking you to become cold or emotionally detached. It is asking you to stop depending on feeling good in order to move forward. Emotions are signals. They are not instructions. When emotions control behavior, life becomes unpredictable. When discipline guides thinking, life becomes stable. Stability does not mean ease. It means reliability. It means you can think clearly even when things are difficult. Notice how your thinking changes under pressure. Not because you are weak, but because you were never taught how to hold your ground internally. That skill can be developed. Begin by observing moments when you seek comfort instead of clarity. When you avoid a difficult decision by telling yourself everything will be fine. When you distract yourself instead of choosing deliberately. Each moment is a training opportunity. Ask yourself, what thought helps me act with integrity right now? Not what feels pleasant, not what sounds inspiring, what moves me forward responsibly. At first, disciplined thinking will feel uncomfortable. Familiar habits resist change, but discomfort is not danger. It is evidence that growth is happening. With practice, your mind becomes steadier, less reactive, more focused. You stop chasing motivation and start building momentum. Confidence stops being something you hope for and becomes something you generate. Positive thinking can make you feel better temporarily. Disciplined thinking makes you stronger permanently. Once you experience the difference, you understand that real mental power does not come from optimism alone. It comes from training your mind to think clearly, especially when it would be easier not to. Chapter 4. Focus is the real power. In the modern world, focus has quietly become one of the rarest and most valuable forms of power a person can develop. You live surrounded by constant stimulation, notifications, messages, news, entertainment, opinions, and endless information compete for your attention every single day. None of this is accidental. The environment around you is carefully designed to pull your mind outward, fragment your awareness, and keep you reacting instead of directing your own mind. Most people believe their main problem is a lack of motivation or discipline. In truth, the deeper issue is a lack of focus. When attention is scattered, energy is scattered. When energy is scattered, progress becomes slow, inconsistent, and fragile. no matter how intelligent, talented, or determined you may be. Focus is not simply concentration. Focus is direction. Whatever you give your attention to grows in importance, intensity, and emotional weight. When your focus rests on fear, fear expands. When it rests on comparison, dissatisfaction grows. When it rests on progress, learning, and deliberate effort, confidence slowly falls. The outer circumstances may remain unchanged, but your experience of life transforms completely. A distracted mind lives in reaction mode. It responds to whatever feels loudest, newest, or most urgent. It jumps from thought to thought, task to task, without depth or continuity. This constant switching drains mental energy. You can stay busy all day and still feel strangely unfulfilled, as if nothing meaningful was actually completed. This exhaustion is not caused by effort. It is caused by fragmentation. Every unnecessary shift of attention carries a hidden cost. Momentum breaks. Clarity fades. Over time, the mind becomes trained to seek stimulation instead of more instead of. Restlessness appears even when nothing is truly wrong. A focused mind feels fundamentally different. It is calmer, steadier, and less reactive. When attention settles on one thing at a time, decisions simplify. Inner conflict decreases. Action becomes cleaner and more intentional. Focus reduces friction in society, allowing energy to flow. Muscles tighten, breathing becomes shallow, thoughts race. Now notice how your body responds when you focus on a single task or idea. The nervous system settles, breathing deepens, presence increases. This is how the mind and body are meant to function. Most people surrender their attention without realizing it. They allow screens, schedules, and external demands to decide what deserves focus. As a result, they live reactively. They consume information instead of creating meaning. They respond instead of directing. Focus begins with a simple question. Is this worthy of my attention right now? Is this moving me closer to the life I want to build, or quietly pulling me away from it? Few people pause long enough to ask this, and fewer still answer honestly. Focus is a skill, not a personality trait. Strengthens through practice. Each time you resist unnecessary distraction, clarity increases. Each time you stay with a task longer than feels comfortable, endurance grows. Each time you choose depth over stimulation, your mind becomes steadier. A distracted mind seeks novelty. A focused mind seeks meaning. Skill, confidence, and self-trust are built through sustained attention, not sudden bursts of intensity. Focus allows effort to compound over time. Begin small. Choose one task, one intention, one thought worth holding. Stay with it fully. Notice the urge to escape. That urge is habit, not danger. Let it pass without acting on it. With practice, focus stops feeling like force and starts feeling like alignment. You feel less pulled apart and more whole. You stop reacting to life and start shaping it deliberately. Focus is not about doing more. It is about doing what matters, with presence. And when your attention becomes deliberate, your power returns quietly, steadily, and completely. This power does not announce itself loudly. It does not arrive with excitement or intensity. It arrives as calm consistency. It shows up in the ability to finish what you start, to remain present when boredom appears, and to stay grounded when distraction tries to pull you away. Over time, focused attention reshapes identity. You begin to trust yourself again. You feel capable of sustained effort. You feel clear about what deserves your time. In that clarity, confidence grows naturally. Not confidence based on hope or mood, but confidence built on evidence. Evidence that you can direct your mind, your energy, and your life with intention. This is how quiet discipline becomes real inner strength over time for you. Chapter 5. Your inner voice becomes your identity. Every day, whether you notice it or not, you're in constant conversation with yourself. This conversation never truly stops. It speaks in moments of silence, during pressure, before decisions, and immediately after mistakes. It comments, judges, predicts, encourages, warns, and explains. Over time, this inner voice becomes so familiar that you stop recognizing it as a voice at all. You experience it as truth, guidance, and identity. The way you speak to yourself shapes the person you become. Your inner voice is not background noise, it is instruction. It tells you what is possible, what is dangerous, what is acceptable, and what is hopeless. When it is harsh, life feels heavy. When it is chaotic, life feels unstable. When it is calm and grounded, life begins to feel manageable and clear. Most people believe their inner voice reflects who they are. In reality, it reflects what they learned. It was shaped by repetition, environment, and emotional experience. It borrowed tones from parents, teachers, authority figures, and peers. It absorbed reactions from past failures and disappointments. Over time, these borrowed voices blended together and became internalized. That voice now narrates your life. When you make a mistake, listen carefully to what it says. Does it correct you calmly or attack you personally? When you face uncertainty, does it guide you patiently or intimidate you into hesitation? When effort is required, does it encourage persistence or rush to judgment? These patterns matter because the voice you hear most often becomes the standard you live by. An inner voice that constantly criticizes creates fear. An inner voice that constantly doubts creates delay. An inner voice that constantly pressures creates burnout. None of these voices create strength. They drain energy, distort perception, and weaken trust in yourself. Over time, they teach your nervous system that effort is unsafe. Your nervous system responds to your inner voice as if it were external authority. Harsh self-talk activates stress responses. Supportive self-talk creates stability. The body listens closely to the tone you use internally. When the voice feels threatening, the body prepares to defend or retreat. When the voice feels steady, the body remains open and responsive. This is why personal change often feels emotionally exhausting. You're not just changing behavior, you're challenging a voice that has been running the system for years. Resistance appears not because growth is wrong, but because familiarity has been disrupted. Your inner voice becomes your identity.
Done, young man.
What you say to yourself daily becomes what you believe about yourself eventually. Beliefs shape behavior. Behavior reinforces belief. Over time, this cycle solidifies and feels permanent. But it is not permanent. The inner voice can be retrained, not by silencing it, not by replacing it with praise. It is retrained by refining it. A strong inner voice is not overly positive or overly harsh. It is honest, specific, and constructive. It corrects behavior without attacking character. Begin by noticing tone rather than content. Pay attention to how the voice speaks, not just what it says. Does it exaggerate? Does it generalize? Does it label you instead of describing actions? These habits can be interrupted with awareness. When the voice says, "You always fail," replace it with accuracy. "This attempt did not work." When it says, "You are not ready," replace it with responsibility. "I can prepare and try." This is not positivity. This is precision. Precision builds trust. Over time, a calmer inner voice creates internal safety. When you feel safe inside, you take healthier risks. You recover faster from mistakes. You stay present under pressure instead of collapsing inward. This is how confidence is built quietly, through repeated moments of fair
Did
self-confidence.
somebody just walk in?
Your inner voice does not need to motivate you aggressively. It
Y'all,
needs to guide you.
y'all can come back. We're gonna start it over and go to the next one.
Leaders give direction without humiliation. They focus on improvement.